It's 11:30. Let's begin with our invocation and pledge.
This is my screen note, sorry. I lost my vocation. Okay. Lord, we are grateful for this new year. A chance to renew our focus and recommitment to the mission of serving our students, staff, and community. May this meeting set the tone for a year filled with collaboration and impactful progress. In the spirit of gratitude, we pause to honor and celebrate our dedicated school board members. This month of recognition serves as a reminder of the many hours they dedicate to ensuring the success of our students and the well-being of our district. Their leadership and commitment inspire us all. May your wisdom guide our decisions and strengthen our efforts as we work together to create the best possible future for our students and our staff and our schools. Let this meeting end this year to be filled with purpose and progress. In your name we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I'm glad I noticed that there's always some trouble turning around.
Like another one, once you train me, I don't change.
Okay, any public comments?
No, sir.
Do we want to break?
Okay.
Okay, we'll now move on. Consider approval of Southwest Independent School District Scholarship Committee recommendation for 2025.
As everybody knows, Southwest is very blessed that we've had this donation from what I call from trash to treasure. But Lisa's been running this, I don't know, for probably after I left, right?
No, actually, just 2 years after Mr. Garcia Jesse left.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I know the committee met a few weeks ago and had some recommendations and some suggestions to make this more efficient. And Lisa's going to share those with us.
Yes. Well, thank you, board. Thank you, senior staff, and Happy New Year. And so, yes, on November 13th, the Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee met, and with our regular fall meeting. And during that meeting, some suggestions or recommendations through the committee, which is, of course, the committee is in agreement. And the presentation has part of, and you'll see that your copies have, of course, yours is not electronic, but I have hyperlinked the actual bylaws with the notes as of now, based on whatever happens today. So a few recommendations that the committee is suggesting and recommending. One of them is for the scholarship application. And so it's under the eligibility. So right now we have actually 4 bullets that under the eligibility, and so one of them, as you can see on the screen, there's a strike through on the third one, and so that would be the one that we're removing or that we are recommending for a removal. And then of course the last bullet there has an amended item. So the eligibility for the scholarship for the students would be that they would be a graduating senior, and they must be enrolled the entire senior year, and that remains as it is now. An overall grade point average of 2.5 on a 4.0 college scale, which would remain as it is now. And then that third one, that strike through, which I'll read, which is what the recommendation is to remove, is that the student be a resident of Southwest ISD or a student of an out-of-district employee who has attended Southwest High School, Southwest Legacy, and of course it would be Cass as well, all 4 years, 9 through 12. So the committee recommended that we do remove that. And then of course on the last one, that 95% attendance rate for and then we are removing, or the recommendation would be to remove the junior year and just be read as 95% attendance rate for the senior year will be used and calculated by the ADA attendance period standards. So that would be one, or the recommendations under the eligibility part for the scholarship application. Everything else would remain the same. Yes, ma'am.
You don't want to keep just part of, you don't want to keep a resident listed as a student without a district employee, period?
And that was also brought up with the committee. And the committee, you know, of course, debated, and so because we are wanting also to improve the numbers of the students to attend, that was one of the recommendations. But I mean, that is something that, of course, if we need to bring back based on your recommendations, that definitely we can. But that was.
Part of that was because the students we have that especially for the CAS kids
Right.
that are like live out of district that
Right.
come to us, that would negate that completely.
Correct.
Does it have to say anywhere, I don't know because of legality and all that, does it have to say anywhere that it has to be a SWISD student? I mean, should it say it has to be a student, or could people apply from, I don't know, I'm just.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I see what you're.
Thinking like legality, could
E-
John Latham apply for the SWISD?
From somewhere else, is that what you're saying? And really, through the application, I mean, the student, of course, has to be a senior, and it will be asked of the attendance that we pull. It is pulled on for Southwest ISD, and it is the application and the entire process is for Southwest ISD. But we can certainly place there a Southwest ISD graduating senior, and that
I
would.
think maybe just,
Okay.
just
That's
for,
how we have it, okay, I have to
Number two, third.
that way that,
Okay.
you know,
Say that.
I don't know if kids will come in and apply because it doesn't say they have to be a student.
And what is not highlighted, because that was not part of the amendments that we are suggesting right here on the application components, it does say that students must be a current senior at, and then we specify our 3 high schools. So we do say, okay, so, yeah, a great point, thank you, appreciate that. And then the other, so that would be under the scholarship application eligibility. The other recommendations would fall under the distribution of the awards or the guidelines that we have for distributing the monies. And so all would remain the same except for those 2 that we have there with some strikeouts and some changes. And so the third bullet that we are asking, or the committee wants, is recommending, is that the student must be enrolled. You can see that we had full-time in an accredited college, university, institute of higher learning, full-time or equivalent, and that we're asking that would be removed, the full-time, because the committee, again, because of, we have had several students request and ask for special circumstances or special situations in which they can only enroll in 9 hours due to working for the family, due to helping the family, and so really it constrains them when they have to be a full-time student. And so we've had several through the years and so we've considered some of those, and actually this year we did, but the committee was suggesting that we change it to the last bullet there, rather than 12 hours, that it be 9 hours for the college university semester when they're drawing the funding from. And so rather than a full-time, that it would be a 9 hours minimum that they would be enrolled in, so that they would be awarded this the scholarship. So those are the recommendations that the committee has submitted. And then also in the presentation, we have the timeline based on, of course, whatever decisions are made, and as we reconvene with the committee. But so we were asking that the board approves the Southwest ISD District Scholarship Committee recommendations to update our bylaws and our guidelines for the 2024-2025 school year with these amendments that we have. Any questions?
We have a motion and a second to approve the Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee recommendation to update the bylaws and guidelines for the 2024-2025 school year. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Consider approval of Cass Devon High School 2024-2025 overnight trip to Pensacola, Florida.
Yes, the 2 field trips were now put on the previous agenda, and I know the board has that information on there. I don't know if the board has any questions or comments.
Motion, please. second that we approve the Castan High School 2024-2025 overnight trip to Pensacola, Florida. Hearing no questions, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Thank you. Consider approval of Southwest Legacy High School 24-25 overnight trip to Pensacola.
It's the same thing, Mr. Board President, as board members, just a different high school.
Questions?
I move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Hearing no questions, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Thank you. Items of information, gating early awareness, readiness for undergraduate programs, Gear Up, grant with the University of Texas in Austin.
Dalila and her staff have been working very hard on acquiring this grant. This is a grant that the district has had before, that we needed to reapply to be able to gain these benefits. And I know Dalila might have something else to add to it too before we start the presentation.
Yes, we attended back in October, UT, just an onboarding of information, which we also were able to take a few members from the different divisions here within the district. We took budget, we also took our federal grant people, because it does come with a lot of money, and then also a lot of documentation that they have to follow. But for more details, I'm gonna have Zelina to go and take us through some of the details of our grant.
Good morning, Board President Vasquez, board members, Dr. Ball, senior staff. So we partnered with the Institute for Public School Initiatives, which we call IPSI for short. And so they asked us to apply for a grant. And like Dr. Ball mentioned, the last time that we partnered with them was in 2017. And they supported the 2023 cohort up to their first year of college. So we were awarded the grant again, and it will focus on our current 7th grade cohort that we have at our middle schools. And so IPSI really focuses on 4 areas, just to give you an overview of what the grant entails. And so it really focuses on college and career readiness, really focusing on high quality programs that include summer camps that are career and both college focused. And so they provide those experiences for our students. Looking at family engagement, providing resources for our students to enhance what we already have for their children's academic journey. Also professional development, free professional development that we would have been paying for outside services. And so they will align the PD with our district initiatives to really enhance teacher growth. Also fostering collaboration with our strategic partnerships in the community to really maximize student outcomes. So to give you a background on the Gear Up grant, it is a highly competitive Department of Education grant. It is a 7-year grant, which means we start with our 7th graders that are currently at our middle schools. It follows them up to high school and then even follows them up to their first year of college. So it's really unique about this grant is that they move with them at each level. It is considered a national grant, and it does service over 500,000 students in almost 3,000 schools. And so one of the prerequisites for the grant is that we need to have at least 50% or more of free and reduced lunch, and they really focus on our first generation students to make sure that we do provide services for them to be college ready. Just to give you some background, back in 23-24, IPSI was preparing for the grant. Spring 2024, they reached out to us to see if we would partner with them again. They asked for us to submit some data to help them with the grant writing process. In August, they were awarded a notification, but they asked us to please wait until they were officially notified at the release in October. And so our part of the grant is $2 million. And so the $2 million starts September 1 and runs through August 31st. And so just to give you a summary of the results, there were 8 grants, state grants that were awarded, 20 partnership grants, and 2 of them were awarded to the University of Texas, which is IPSI. To give you an idea of what districts were included in the grant, we have 2, the Mindset College Ready that services East Texas, and then All In, which they refer to as AI, which includes Eagle Pass, Lockhart, Del Rio, Southwest, and Somerset. So we were one of 2 districts in San Antonio that were part of the grant. What you see here is a grant structure. I did want to provide some background information so you knew what was different about this grant compared to 2017. So if you look at the middle portion that starts with the IPSI leadership, in 2017, we wrote the job description, we sent it to AHR, we did the interviews, we made recommendations. What's different about this grant is that IPSI is taking over that part. They are actually doing the hiring, the interviewing, and then they will send the finalists to our district to be the 3 coordinators. We do have Southwest staff who is part of the interview process, so we are providing input as to who is going to be joining the Southwest ISD family to support the Gear Up grant. So that is just the difference between the 2017 grant and then the grant, the 2024 that we currently have. They'll be working side by side with campus and district leadership to make sure that they do have the feedback from them when it does come to the supervision.
Will they be paying the coordinators as well?
Yes, they'll be paying the coordinators, yes. And so just to give you a background on the objectives of the Gear Up grant, pretty much they are aligned with our district strategic plan. They are looking at increasing academic performance, and how that's going to be measured is by our EOC passing rate, and then the number of students who complete Algebra 1 by 9th grade year. Also our advanced placement, our AP numbers and courses, and then our dual credit hours, and then also looking at the number of students who stay on track within their cohort. So each year they'll be measuring how many students earn enough credits, state credits, to make sure that they move on to the next grade. Also looking at increasing our high school graduation, and then also participation in post-secondary education. So looking at our SAT, ACT participation, our TSI, and then also our military readiness. Our third objective is really enhancing our educational experiences and expectations for our students, and also familiarizing our families, making sure that they're aware of the post-secondary opportunities. So they'll be looking at our college and university enrollment as students graduate and then move to their first year of college. Also the number of students who are college level courses, they're ready, not taking any remediation courses, and then also our industry-based certifications. So we are required to report to IPSI to make sure we are on track with those objectives. So we'll be doing monthly, annually, and quarterly reporting. So they will have a data collection, which is called Youth Connection. And just to give you an overview of what the budget will be allocated, most of it, 59%, will be for district support, which means we will use that money to meet the Gear Up objectives. We do have money for camps, also supplies, and then 16% is personnel. So just to give you an overview of the Gear Up budget, we're allowed to add. That is aligned to the Gear Up grant to make sure that we are in line with those objectives, but we're not allowed to replace what we currently have in terms of the funds. So we just can't go out and buy furniture for classrooms. It definitely has to be aligned to the Gear Up initiatives. For example, increasing our EOC or Algebra 1. So definitely has to be aligned with the grant. And then just to sum up, just to give you an idea of the timeline, we did have our kickoff in October. Right now they are currently looking at hiring 3 coordinators for the district. They'll be recruiting for summer programs. And then also we'll be looking at the annual conference that they have to make sure that our staff members are trained. And then we'll end year 1. Next steps is we'll have a site visit from IPSI to come and get to know the new staff members that they will be supporting. Most of them are from the old grant from the 2017, so we definitely are familiar with the personnel and their expectations. And then we'll be receiving a data request so we can start officially the grant. Do we have any questions?
What summer programs are they recruiting for?
So they have a Geoforce camp that's really focusing on STEM. We have one camp that is focused for students who are in the CTE who want to pursue maybe like a, one of them is for future carpenters. We also have one Texas A&M Commerce. So we have a variety of different camps based on.
Not, because we're cutting summer programs, so this is something that
Yes, that'll be paid for through the grant, yes.
But I mean, we're not having the camp.
No, no, we will be actually transporting, the facilitators will be transporting the students to the camps. But yes, we will not be hosting any camps here in the summer.
And then, if there's 3 coordinators, are they putting one in each high school?
They'll be putting, yes, when they come to the high school, yes. Right now, they're looking at potentially splitting the coordinators at the 4 middle schools. If we do go up in enrollment, then possibly a 4th coordinator will be hired. But right now, we were told 3 for the district.
And they're hired as a Southwest employee?
No,
Okay.
they're IPSI, yes.
So when the grant ends, it's not like they're our employee, they're.
Correct, yes.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Has that always been, like, when we get the CARE Act, is it always an outside company that was paying for the CARE Act coordinator?
So previously with cohort 1, we got the money and we did the hiring here.
And they were ours.
And they became our employees, but we did say they're grant funded. And so some of them did stay, we still have some as counselors, but that was after the 7-year term. And so now this year, IPSI, after their research and what they've learned, they prefer to keep them. They do the training, they do the hiring training, and then they come and serve as a district.
Okay, and then, you said there will be Southwest people that are in the interview process, or
Part of the panel,
like who, principals or y'all, or?
we were able to send in a point of contact, I don't know if it was.
Yes, we
Reese
have
or-
our CCMR coordinator, who is familiar with the Gear Up grant, is sitting in.
Mr. Luis Nieto, he is our current employee he oversees the CCMR.
Yes, and he's a former counselor, so is very knowledgeable about the Gear Up grant.
Any other questions? Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Lynn.
You have anything you want to bring up?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the board. This is Board Appreciation Month, so January is Board Appreciation Month, so thank you to the board for all you do. And I think if my memory is correct, this month of January, I think we're recognizing Flo, right? Is that James? James, oh, okay, James. So I think we recognized so far, we recognized James Gonzalez. We've seen some cute baby pictures of James Gonzalez. We did recognize Flo, right? And then who did we start with?
Yes, Joe Diaz.
Okay, so then, so we still have a few more to go, but everybody will get their month. But for board appreciation, wanna thank you, board, for everything that you do. Want to also let everybody know that superintendents, we started to meet yesterday because of the predicted bad weather. So following the same procedure that we have followed for every year. So we will meet again, tomorrow at 3 o'clock to see how Wednesday looks, and then we'll meet every day after that to see how each day looks, to see how the roads are, and ultimately to decide if we were to have to cancel depending on the wintry mix and the ice and snow and all those good things. So just wanted to let y'all know that we have been meeting. You know, we have our fall trees here, we'll be ready if anything were to happen. We're prepared for any school closures that could possibly happen. I don't think for tomorrow, but I think if anything Thursday and Friday, but it's hard to predict. I will call y'all, you know, if we were to make a decision to close. So I will let y'all know about that. Tomorrow, we were supposed to have our price patrol. We're gonna go ahead and delay that, just in case it is icy or ugly or cold. We don't want anybody to slip and fall, and don't want to put anybody in danger. We were also supposed to have some soccer tournaments, so we are choosing to cancel the soccer tournament for Thursday, because that's when the bad weather is supposed to happen. And then we will still have it on Friday and Saturday, then we'll make some adjustments. And of course, it's all tentative in case it were to get really bad, then we would change it. And we do want to congratulate one of our employees, Leah Edmonds. She is the very first one, and from what I understand, not just the very first one at Southwest, the very first one in San Antonio to win the VFW District 20 Teacher of the Year and finalist for the Texas that was supposed to be tomorrow too. So we don't want anybody, people are already sniffling sick and cold and flu and a lot of little stuff out there. We don't wanna put more people out, than we need to. So that was also gonna be postponed. And I think that date, January 17th, is that
It's
right?
next Friday.
So hopefully it's better weather.
Can you send us a reminder about that? Yeah.
It was changed to,
The 17th.
And we'll let you know once the Price Patrol, I don't know if we've selected a date yet. Yes. So once we finalize that. Those are all the announcements I have.
All right. Then pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Building Code, we'll have a discussion of superintendent's performance evaluation in closed session.
Yes, sir.
We'll come back to public forum at 12:39. There's no action needed from closed session. Is there any other business?
The soccer games were now completely canceled.
the what?
The soccer games. It's just in the air, you know, just to err on the side of safety. I think Brandon had told me someone coming from the valley. Isn't that what she said, that they were canceled?
They're canceled on Thursday, they resume on Friday.
Oh, I misunderstood, I thought, okay.
Friday, they're just gonna move the games up a little later instead of the.
That's supposed to all clear up by Friday. Okay.
Does this mean we're not gonna expect bad weather in February? It's always in February.
Okay, hearing nothing else, we will now adjourn at 12:40.